I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone and affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't.
What's going on, fam? You're listening to the Urban Sports Scene. I'm Wole, and it's Commanders Friday. Welcome to our Commanders versus the Raiders preview show. Before we talk about this game, we gotta knock out some logistics. Hey, you can check out our website, which is www.urbansportscene.com. You can also subscribe to our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Make sure you subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel. If you're in the YouTube chat, we accept super chats. Super chats help us support the show. The super chats will be prioritized over all comments in the chat. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene, and also like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Also join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Just search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcasters, and sports debates. All right, let's get into our tradition, the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. Emmy Award-winning sports personality and Commanders reporter, and also owner of Holder Sports, that which is a great YouTube channel. Make sure y'all check it out. We got Lou Holder on the show, and he's gonna help me preview the Commanders versus the Raiders game, which is going on Sunday at 1 p.m. at Northwest Stadium. All right, let's not waste any time. We got the guy, the legend, the Emmy Award winner, right? I gotta say that, the Emmy Award winner, the guy, the man, Lou Holder. What's going on, Lou?
Hey, what's going on, my brother? How are you?
I'm fine. I'm in gym gear because after this show, I'm going to the gym. So I'm just trying to make sure.
I see you got your arms out there.
all for the gym. That's all it is.
Is that for the ladies?
That is for the gym. It's for the gym. It's for the gym.
Who? Okay. All right. If that's where you want to go with it.
Oh, it's for the gym, Lou.
The gym. All right, I got you.
It's for the gym, Lou. It's for the gym.
All right.
I'm outside for the gym, Lou. That's all it is. I'm outside for the gym.
Sure.
All right, let's get into business. I can see, Lou, you're gonna have me tripping up already, Lou.
Hey, you brought it on yourself.
I did.
You brought it on yourself. You know, coming on your podcast with no clothes on. You brought it on yourself.
It's a whole shirt, Lou. We're talking about.
Where is it? Where's the shirt? Where is it?
My God.
Where is it?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I see your African arms. I don't see nothing.
All right, man.
That's the Urban Sports Scene for you right there.
Right there. You're right. That's
a scene.
That's the scene. All right. We got to talk about what the streets want to talk about, what the folks want to talk about. Jayden Daniels sprained his knee against the Green Bay Packers. We got the news today that he'll be out for Sunday's game against the Raiders. Marcus Mariota is going to be starting in this game. Your overall thoughts on what went down?
So, I mean, I saw the Panthers game last year. I saw the Dallas game last year. I mean, Marcus Mariota is very competent to be the backup. I mean, they wouldn't have brought him back if they didn't think that Jayden was going to. I mean, it'd be nice if your quarterback could play the whole season without getting hurt.
Sure.
But the fact of the matter is, I knew this. We knew this. The way that Jayden Daniels plays, and even with an improved offensive line, I mean, they're getting everybody's best shot now. And Jayden is, I just hope Jayden is careful because we still have PTSD from Robert Griffin III. And although it wasn't Haloti Ngata, I don't like seeing our quarterback wrapped and twisted all kind of ways. I don't like him running. And we'll get into that with this running game. I don't like Jayden Daniels being the leading rusher for the Commanders offense. I mean, he does run when he have to, but he shouldn't have to. He shouldn't have to. That's the whole thing. He shouldn't have to. So this is going to happen. He will get hurt. He will get dinged up. It's the NFL, and you need a backup. You need a backup. So no need to rush him. That's why you bring in a Marcus Mariota. That's why you bring in the Zach Ertz. That's why you bring in the Bobby Wagners. That's why you bring in the Von Millers to stem the tide when there is a bad game or a hiccup in the road. And this offense, obviously, you can't do everything that you would if Jayden was in there, but you have a serviceable quarterback whose only job as the backup is to not run that car off the road. And I can't see Marcus Mariota doing anything stupid like that. So it's not a division game, but it's a game that they must win. I mean, they Doc Walker on the radio, and I'll tell you in this platform as well, this is very similar to the game of golf. You can't let a bad hole turn into a bad round. So again, that was a bad hole. Green Bay Packers was a bad hole. Now you're on the tee box of the next hole. You got to get that out of your head, and you got to play the hole that's in front of you. Are you going to, show up and strike that thing right down the fairway? Or are you going to shank it into the woods and into the trees? And so Green Bay is done. Green Bay is over. You can bitch and complain and cry about how they went from a Sunday to a Thursday, and that's what the NFL is doing. You're going to see a lot of these injuries. The NFL is just, they got these players playing all over the place. And I don't think people realize. I was talking to London Fletcher and another way back, LeVar Arrington, and they said playing football is like a car crash every single snap. It's like a high-level, high-speed car crash every single snap. And for you to survive that every single week and turn around in short weeks where you're bruised and everything like that, people are going to get hurt. I'm so bummed for Deatrich Wise and Austin Ekeler. I know you're probably going to get to, but I mean, that's part of the game. That's part of the journey of the NFL. People are going to get hurt. So next man up.
Definitely. Santiago says Lou 100%. I mean 100. Lou. Definitely.
All right. Santiago, what up?
And
ask Santiago if he sees Wole out there with no clothes on.
Hey, Commander Jay Dillard is already talking about. They said Lou is frying. He's frying me. Yeah, Lou is frying me. I know. I'm saying he's frying me.
I mean, but what's his name?
Commander Jay Dillard.
Commander Jay Dillard. He gave me the pan to fry him with. He came on the podcast with no clothes on.
Gym gear, Lou, gym gear.
Can you put that on in the gym?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. I mean, if I'm frying him, you gave me the pan, boy.
Oh man. So this
is a home game. The home games you got to take care of business, and you have more talent around the quarterback or backup quarterback than you did last year. So it's up to Cliff now to be the offensive coordinator for the whole offense, not just Jayden Daniels. And so how is he going to get Debo involved? Knowing that you probably had Terry. I mean, all that we want Terry. We want Terry. I mean, is Terry going to enter the chat at any point? It's like, let's go. So this is where you got to step on an opponent who I saw the game against the Chargers. They're all professional football teams, but the Los Angeles Raiders are a beatable football team for this Commanders team.
Got you.
They have talent. They have enough that they could beat a team that has to fly across country on a short week.
Good point.
And play at your building. So at that point, you had to go and play Green Bay at their place. Now somebody has to come here. We'll take advantage of that too.
Very good point. That's a very good point. But speaking of Mariota, you talked about, you saw what he did last year under when he came in for Jayden Daniels. How do you think the team can maintain the same level of explosiveness against the Raiders?
No, it's Jayden Daniels.
Okay.
I mean, that's the weapon. It's not going to be the same level of explosiveness, but it's going to be explosive.
Okay.
If you put the ball in Deebo Samuel's hands like you're supposed to, if Terry can spread the field like you're supposed to, it can be explosive. But let's not be mistaken. This team is in its ultimum explosiveness when 5 is under center.
Facts.
But he's not. And you can only talk about the players that are actually in the game. So he's not in the game. So I got to move on.
Yeah, I think it's crazy because I know when they signed Mariota last year, and I wasn't enthused with the signing, but you know when you saw him when he came in those games and the way he played, I had total faith in him and belief of him as a backup from that point on. So I just think that, you know, to your point, you know, the Raiders are a good team. They're a well-coached team. Pete Carroll is one of the best coaches in football. So they're a well-coached team. He's a guy who knows his football. And obviously the link with him and Dan Quinn. But I do, to your point, I feel like Mariota is good enough from what we saw last season. And we're using that as a sample size, right? I think they're definitely good enough to score points because even when we saw Mariota come in the game, that Carolina game, they put up 30 with him in that game against the Cowboys. When the offense was a little stagnant, they put him in just, you know, because they would, you know, that game was meaningless and he put up points. So Mariota has shown, to your point, he has shown the ability to help this team move the football down the field. And especially, like you said, they have more talent now. Put the ball in those playmakers' hands and he won't have to do all the work.
Yeah, I mean, if your backup quarterback is, I mean, you're going to have a drop-off in your backup quarterback. Okay, yeah. If your backup quarterback is that good, he should be a starting quarterback somewhere, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's inherent in the nature of the actual title of the job. You are the backup quarterback. So the backup brings a different level than the original quarterback. So I'm not expecting that this team is going to be as explosive. But the reason why you got all these weapons now, there's many ways that the Commanders can beat people. And Jayden, it was one way. Now you can beat them with another way with Marcus Mariota. So, you know, who knows what we're going to get out of the quarterback position, but I do know that you got to that offense has got to start humming now. And here, I'll say this, Wole. Because of what we talked about and because of things that we saw in the preseason, these starters are not playing together as a unit in the preseason.
Yes.
The first couple games of the regular season are trash.
Yes, agreed.
They really are, you know, don't disrespect for the NFL. It's a trash product, right? Yeah. Because the way that they have to navigate themselves is that your superstars, because you don't want them to get hurt during the preseason, they're not playing together until week 1. And so that to me is the preseason game.
Yep.
It just so happens that game now counts. And then the second game, Washington Commanders had on a short week against a team that is good. I don't know how good the Green Bay Packers are going to be. I think that they are better than they were in the past. And LaFleur is a good coach. He was here. He was here along with all those other coaches that walked out the building. So he can coach. And but that's 2 games now where these people were together. Now we're into it. Game 3, game 4, right? They just so happen to, you know, the Raiders and then the Falcons. These are the games now where you should start to see a lot more increase in productivity because now you have 3 games underneath your belt for a lot of these people that are playing together for the first time. I always think now that the first 2 games of the season are just trash to me.
Yeah, especially if you're a team that doesn't play your players and your starters in the preseason. I agree with you. You got certain teams that go the route of playing their starters in the preseason because of like the shortened preseason schedule. So it's like they feel like those teams feel like they have to play their starters. Yeah. Like I know the Bengals did that. They play their starters a lot in the preseason.
Yeah.
So go into that. So what do you expect? Because you mentioned this about Jayden and he ran the ball too much. And I do agree that like they have way too many official running plays for Jayden Daniels. I agree with you. They have way too many. Do you feel like they'll still have a number of running plays for Marcus Mariota, knowing that what's behind him?
Well, I mean, let's talk about what's behind him. I feel that the one position group that we saw coming into the season that was just an interesting group, a lot of questions, was that running back room.
Yeah.
And I do believe it's good that I hope, with Ekeler being out, it's going to be good to see Rodriguez get his shot. It's going to be good to see Bill get more carries.
Right.
It's going to be good to see that. I still don't think that. I think that Rodriguez could be that quote unquote bell cow, the one who gets a lot of the carries.
I agree.
It could still be Bill, but I feel that Rodriguez, I've seen enough of him that I'm hoping that he gets a lot more touches. I think overall the running game needs to get a lot more touches, but that's Cliff's bag. That Cliff's got to find a way to make that kind of even. And who knows what Mariota's got in his bag?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what Mariota's got in his bag? So, you got some time to play around with. We're not in the division just yet. That comes near the middle and the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to pace yourself. And the home games, you got to take care of them. So, I don't see running plays for Mariota.
Okay.
I just see precision and route running. I don't think the Raiders are that good of a football team. I think you can beat them. I mean, they got Crosby. They do.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's nobody on the Raiders. There's no wide receiver on the Raiders or running back on the Raiders that I'm like, okay, this defense can't stop them.
I mean, I know they can't stop. I mean, they can't. Bowers is one of the best tight ends in football already. The kid out of Georgia, he's one of the best. So and we know how they play, how Washington and tight ends are.
Mm-hmm.
And the Green Bay killed them with tight ends. And Bowers is elite. I'm with you in wide receivers. I don't think their wide receivers are anything to be scared about. Shouldn't be.
Right.
But Bowers does scare me because he's the type of dude. And Genty, the kid, Genty obviously what he did in college, but he hasn't got featured enough. Like we talk about Bill. Yeah. Like Genty, we're talking about the guy who was the best college running back in terms of statistically in college football last year. Yeah. And they're not they're not giving him a lot of carries. So, but again, this Washington team, to their credit, has been able to stop the run. So I don't feel like if we're going to go again off of the sample size that we have so far, they've been pretty stout against the run. I think if I had to be scared of anything from this Raiders team, it would be Brock. On the offensive side of football, it would be Bowers because one, he's elite. Second, Washington they don't cover tight ends. So far, they haven't. You know what I mean? That's what I would say. What I would say.
Point taken. Point taken. I just feel that the defense. The Green Bay Packers could end up in San Francisco.
I agree with you.
End of the year. So again, they went up in weight class from the Giants, and they got smacked around. That's going to happen in the NFL.
Yep.
And they had a long time to stew over it because they had an extended, mini bye week or whatever to think about it. But this team needs to be rebound. They have the talent, right? They have the talent. They can neutralize some people, but they gotta establish. People need to go out there and root for this team.
Yeah,
they need that fan support. It's going to be one of those things that don't think that these players, in critical situations, don't need that home crowd. So,
definitely, I do. I will ask you this question because I had to question myself after because I was so hyped at the Giants game. Personally, I was hyped after the Giants game, and then like you said, the Packers was like, all right. Okay, there's levels to this. That's what I was like. There's levels to this. Do you feel like as a fan base, right, did a lot of fans overrate the Commanders after the Giants game? Or was it more like there's a lot of variables going into that Packers game. Short week, good team, and so forth.
So I think it happened even before the Giants game. This season, the hype machine for this season, the hype machine for this team, it's a little scary, scary. They went to the NFC Championship game. They have this Rookie of the Year, and they added more parts, and now everybody's like the Commanders are the it story. I've covered this league and I've covered this team long enough to say, whoa, hold your horses here. And I told you this example, and I'll say it again. 2 years ago, the Detroit Lions went to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
They lost the NFC Championship game, but they brought back both of their coordinators, and they were the quote-unquote it team. The Commanders came in there in the divisional round and smacked them around something good, right? There's no guarantee that even with all your parts that you're going to get to the same level and beyond the next year, right? So it's like after you hype this team up so much, the only place for them to go is down.
True.
And every bad play, every bad game, it's like, oh my God, the sky is falling. Well, maybe we put it up too high to begin with. Like, let these guys play it out.
Yeah.
Right. But fan is short for fanatic. I get it. I understand. But I put my fan card down a long, long time ago. I deal in reality now. And I'm just like, the more you hype up the team, the harder it is going to be for you to just, be okay when they struggle. It's going to be games when they're going to struggle. These other teams have professional football players too. This is going to be a long season, and there's still so much more hype to get through. Hard Knocks, them going to Madrid.
Right.
The Kansas City Chiefs, right? It's just going to be a lot of these things, and they're not going to win all the games, but the sky is not falling if they don't.
True. I agree. I had to think to myself, like, all right, doesn't mean they're a bad team. Just
no,
I feel like,
but they have potential. I'd rather have the parts than not have the parts. But I told you before the season, I'm ready for a bumpy at times ride, but I know that they have the people on board to make sure that they have these shock absorbers that are on your car. They have the shock absorbers on the season, and the people like Bobby Wagner and Zach Ertz, they're the shock absorbers. Like when these things happen, when they show you their championship rings, what are you supposed to do, right? These people got hardware. They got Lombardis. They got trophies that they've won all with other places. That's where you use the expertise and you lean on that to get through a season.
Inside Mine says Mariota rushing touchdown, first score of the game. Mark my words. Also, he added, I have a betting problem.
That's funny. If that rushing touchdown's from 5 yards in, I'm good. I don't want him running 30, 40 yards for no whatever.
Not with you. We don't need all that. I think that, again, he is a very valuable entity for Washington, knowing what's behind him. He needs to stay on that football field. So I'm with you, Lou. All right, so let's move on to the second topic within this game. Washington recently signed their former 2015 second-round draft pick defensive end Preston Smith. Smith played for the Commanders. The then Redskins from 2015 to 2018. What kind of impact do you think Smith could make for the defensive line in this game against the Raiders, especially with Deatrich Wise being out?
Man, it's good to have Preston back. I liked him when he was here. And when he went to Green Bay, I was like, that's one guy that I would really have loved to keep in burgundy and gold for his entire career. Yeah. I don't know how much impact he's going to have because, he's just learning. But again, he's a body in there. He's motivated. A lot of people are like, well, if you were able to get him, is he then that good? You just never know. Yeah. These players are not robots. They have feelings. They have things that go on. And if he now comes back and he knows that this is a better situation, he may play harder. You just don't know. I just think that the people not named Wise and they need to step up. Like Ken Law needs to continue to bring it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You just need that. You just need that. Deron Payne, that first game, man possessed. We need that. I mean, that was, he didn't get his first. He didn't reach the quarterback until week 4 of last season, and he didn't get his first full sack until that Chicago Bears Monday night game last year.
Mm-hmm.
Right, first game of the season, Deron Payne was just a man possessed.
Mm-hmm.
We need that often, right?
Yeah.
His last quote unquote contract year, he had 11 sacks, 11 plus sacks. So we need him to be chasing Geno Smith all over the freaking football field.
Agreed. I agree. I totally agree with you. I think this is a game for that. I think this is a game for Deron Payne to have
exercise your dominance, man. You got to exercise your dominance. I don't see anybody on that offensive line for the Raiders that these guys can't get past and get to.
I agree.
That's the real, to me.
Mm-hmm.
To me, Wole, if you're asking me, the story to me is not so much if Marcus Mariota can stem the tide or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's, can this defense step up?
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
The consistency of this defense is what's going to be the story of the season. Right?
Yeah,
because your offense is not always going to be able to put up 35 points or 20-some points. There's going to be games where you're only going to be able to put up 14 points. The defense is going to have to stop people.
Oh, Lou, I've said this for a while.
That's the story for me.
Lou, I've been saying this for a while. A lot of people I agree with you. I've been saying that.
That's the story to me every single week. It's not Jayden Daniels. It's not whatever. I mean, we know that the offense can score. We know that if given the right situations, they can put some points on the board.
Agreed.
The question is how the season ended last year and the embarrassment in Philadelphia that they couldn't stop the run.
Yeah.
One game against the Giants does not solve the problem. Like, you have to start stopping the run and you have to start getting to the quarterback on a consistent basis. If you bring in now, more parts and things of that nature, Von Miller and Frankie Louvu. I mean, they need to be in highlights and stat sheets like every single week, right? So if ever I come on the urban sports scene, whether you have clothes on or not, I'm going to be telling you, let's talk about the defense as much as we talk about the offense.
I can't. I can't. All right.
So I'm a defensive guy, and Sean Taylor made me that way.
Hey, and he should. He was
Sean
awesome.
Taylor made me that way.
And he should.
I'm a defensive guy. I like people getting stopped. This league was not only built on all those offenses. This league was built on the doomsday defense. This league was built on the purple people eaters. This league was built on the orange crush. This league was built on the terrible towels and the steel curtain. This league was built on defense, right? And I love defense. And when it's playing and it's good, it just feels that Philadelphia Eagles Kansas City game and the defense that was being played there was nothing open for either one of those teams. And that's the kind of football I like. So I want to see this defense rise to the occasion. Marshawn Lattimore's got to play better, right? I mean, they just got to play better. Yeah. And so I just feel that is the storyline for me. How's this defense going to do, right? They shut out an opponent for the first time in like 5 years. They kept them off a touchdown for the first time in 5 years in the last home game they had. Well, let's see that dominance again. How about that?
No, I'm with that. So I'm going to go back to what you were talking about Preston Smith. I feel like, a lot of folks are going to say he's 32 years old, and they're going to say that Preston, no one, he was a free agent for a reason, right? He was out there for a reason. That's going to be like the talking points for a lot of people. But for me, I think this situation with Preston Smith is like the perfect situation for him because what he brings to the table, I think Washington needs and will appreciate. He's a defensive end who has an ability to rush the passer, and also for him as an edge rush, as a defensive end edge rusher, he's pretty good against the run, and they like that in their system. And he has a lot of measurables. I feel like that helps this team, especially when we talk about we saw it here when he was here with the with Washington years ago, where he was the type of defensive end who had a knack for getting turnovers. He had a knack for he would catch interceptions at times, right? He would bat the ball in the air and he caused other individuals to get interceptions. What do we talk about this Joe with defense? They don't create enough turnovers. I feel like he's the type of guy who's kind of he has the ability to inject that in this defense. I'm not saying he's going to be like a straight game record, but I'm saying that he has the ability to help this team where they lack at.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I just he has the ability to help, but you got to do. I mean, that's exactly what he is. He's there for help.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not there. He's not a main figure on the defensive.
Agree. I agree with that.
And that's unfair to put that on him.
Yeah,
because if he that's just no. He's not the focus. Like, he's there to help.
Yeah.
Until he can get to a point where he's more than a help. He is now, a viable asset on that on that defensive line.
Yeah.
So Kinlaw, he's the one. Bobby, all the people doing their thing. Preston's there in week one after you just came back. Your job right there is to help.
Yeah.
It's to help.
Well, I mean,
clog up that middle.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, like the edge rushers, like the middle has been, in terms of rushing the passer, like I feel like Kinlaw has done his job. His job is to help stop the run. He's done that. He's done his job. But in terms of getting pressure on this quarterback, like the edge rushers need to step up. Like whoever, and when I mean like the guys that we're talking about, like Frankie, like got to be Frankie can't be MIA. We got to know who he is. We got to hear his name at least twice about in terms of him at the quarterback. We got to hear it at least twice. Yeah. And I feel like compared to what we saw last season, that's what's missing. And if I had to tell you what's missing about this defense, it's that, because that individual used to spark this defense the way he was getting at the quarterback. And it wasn't all about just getting sacks. It's how he was getting there, right? And applying pressure. So I think we haven't seen that Frankie Louvu. And, again, when you're going against the Raiders team, which if folks have watched Geno Smith, and I've always been a supporter of Geno Smith, but I know who Geno Smith is. He's a guy who tends to hold the ball, and if you do get near him, you will be able to sack him. This is not a quarterback that's like gets the ball out quickly. He's a quarterback that is trying to find the big play. So he'll either turn the ball over, which he's very capable of, and also he is easily sackable, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. So I'm with you about, you said that earlier about, this is the defense's time. This is the time for the defense. This is the game for the defense to show out and stand up. I think this is definitely the game. This is the quarterback. It's like a perfect storm, right? It's the perfect situation for them to kind of develop confidence.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No.
All right. So you talked about Austin Ekeler. We also talk about Bill, hopefully getting a bigger role. You talked about Rodriguez. So with the injury of Ekeler and Ekeler, tearing his Achilles and being out for the season, do you feel, how many carries do you feel like Bill is going to get in this game? Do you feel like this is an opportunity to be able to get like 15 to 20, or it will be more of a running back by committee if Rodriguez is out there and or maybe Rodriguez gets most of the carries?
I think it's still going to be running back by committee.
Okay.
I just don't. I don't see one, standing out, super standing out above the others. I think when you put in McNichols and you put in all those pieces, I just feel it's running back by committee. That offensive line has got to do better too.
Yeah.
Tunsil, all them. I mean, they got to do better because the plan is that Wole and Lou should be able to run with that offensive line, right? I mean, that's just
supposed to be.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be, and maybe not every game, but I mean, Connolly's getting baptism by fire. I mean, he's been put up against some good rushers, and here comes Crosby. Like there's no rest for the weary, right? So again, no overreact. This is a rookie now, just trying to find his way in the NFL. And so, but that kind of makes you give those faces like, you know. And so Cosme can't get back soon enough for me.
Yeah, I'm with you. And you got
Cosme can't get back soon enough for me.
You got the report out that's out there already that they're going to bench Allegretti and put Wiley as the guard, as the right guard. So they're trying to make changes already. Obviously, they didn't like what they saw against the Packers. But again, I mean, the only fit like that, and I'm glad you mentioned that in terms of like the line has to be better to like block the run game, but also to a point you said earlier about Mariota needing like not just leaning on like the pass catchers, but leaning on a run game. So that's up to Cliff to kind of be consistent with running the football. And we saw that with Bill. Well, we saw that Bill, when given the opportunity against the Packers, I believe he averaged like 4 yards a carry. It was a limited carries, didn't get an opportunity to really tote the rock. I felt you got a game with your backup quarterback. He's the backup for a reason. Using your words, he's the backup for a reason. Like you gotta kind of lean on people like Bill or lean on like Rodriguez, is he out there, or McNichols or whatnot. You gotta lean on these individuals to make life easier for the quarterback. So it's up to, like you said, it's up to Cliff to like give these guys the opportunity to say, you know what, let's not put all the pressure on Marcus Mariota. Like you got a guy and Bill that everybody's been talking about, had a great game one. All right, and obviously we've heard that this coaching staff is enamored, like loves this dude. All right, let's show the world what you see rather than trying to hide him. Show the world what you see. So
I mean, you all good points. Mm-hmm. All good points.
All right, so you mentioned this, and I'm glad you mentioned Josh Connerly. Micah Parsons, what he did to Connerly wasn't fair to Connerly. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's no way that you put Micah Parsons on Connerly one-on-one and think that's a good look, right? There is no, I don't care. That's not good. Like Micah on the best left tackles, right tackles in the game gets double teamed. That's how good Micah Parsons is. Putting a rookie who had slight issues with Brian Burns and with the Giants, and now Micah sees it like, no, you can't do that. Now you got Maxx Crosby. This is called coaching adjustments. All right, like we like the definition of insanity, right? Exactly. All right, so hopefully we're doing something different. Yeah. Hopefully we're doing something different. So how big of a challenge do you think it will be for? How big of a challenge do you think Maxx Crosby presents for this Washington Commanders offensive line?
Big time.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he's one of the premier players in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And Connolly's going to have to, again, baptism by fire.
True.
Baptism by fire. He's going to be in the deep end,
and
he got to learn. That boy got to learn how to swim.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Crosby's going to be problems.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be good defensive players and good offensive players on every team that they face. So again, that Green Bay is in the past. I don't even want to talk about Green Bay anymore.
I know they're done.
Until we have to play them again in the playoffs, whatever like that. I don't even want to talk about it. It's over. It's over.
Yeah.
So
kind of will need help. I would say this to something you said, Lou, and I believe this in all sports, like that this is still in essence a good thing for Connerly, because once he gets through this, because I feel like these are like, to see Brian Burns, and then you got to see Micah, then you got to see Maxx Crosby. I feel like it's going to only make you better. Like, you know what I mean? And if you're supposed to be that dude, it's going to make you better. If you're, for the folks that it doesn't work that way for them, it's because they just weren't built for it, right? But for that, not be real, because it's not built for it. But I feel like because you're going against the best, it's going to make you better, regardless. You know what I mean? It's going to make you better. So when you see lesser competition, you'll be even better against those individuals. And then when you see that individual again, you should be a better player on the flip side. So I feel like at the end of the day, like, yeah, we talk about this and saying, oh man, the kid, this is not working out for the kid, or this, that, and the other. But if he has all the makeup that I believe he has, it'll make him a better player down the road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I think that's why this coaching staff is so unique, is they have the ability to make all these players better, especially these rookies.
Mm-hmm.
And going back, I think people are are okay with their choice of Dan Quinn over Ben Johnson, because Dan Quinn was able to bring in all these other former head coaches, Anthony Lynn and stuff like that, that just adds to the messaging of what you said, Wole, about getting them ready in any circumstance. So I'm good. I'm really good. Even though Green Bay smacked this team around, I'm still really, really good. And I'm buying what's the gambling phrase? I'm buying. I'm a buying man with the Washington Commanders, because they've shown me enough that when I pick up my head out of the malaise of covering this team every single week, when we look in December and we're playing meaningful games in December, I'm gonna say, okay, that's good. Now we ready. I mean, because you a hoops guy, right?
Yep.
No one asked the coach in November and December, how good your team's going to be. They all, and the latest person that came in and told us that was when we watched Michigan State beat Maryland in basketball, and we got a chance to interview Tom Izzo, and Tom Izzo says the same thing. He's progressing his team towards March
all the time. That's what he does for March. He coaches for March. Yeah,
he progresses his team towards March every single year.
Yeah,
and so that's what's going on with the Dan Quinn. He's progressing his team towards late December, early January. That's what you want. That's what you want. I don't want the Commanders. For me, I don't want them to be so good in week 1 and 2 that there's nowhere to improve. I want them to improve. And sometimes to improve, you got to get smacked around. And they got smacked around. But I can't. I've seen too much football. I've seen too much of a sample size to get too high or too low after week 2 of a football season. It's just too early.
Yeah,
it's just too early. If we see these trends and things happen, like if we're doing an urban sports scene next month and we're still having the same issues and more people have gone down and everything like that, well, let's have that conversation then. But for right now, my goodness, it's just a bad hole. Don't let this bad hole become a bad round.
Yeah, I like what you said about Izzo. I think that's a great that's a great comparison to what Dan Quinn is doing here. Like, I feel like it's like you're prepping your team, you're getting them better for the long run. So when you get to the December, because that's the important time of football. December, the month of December is the important time of football. You're one of the hottest teams out there. So now you have that chance to make a run in the postseason, just like Izzo. Izzo's the same way. Izzo is that there's a reason why Izzo, his team, people say his teams look meh, and then when they hit March, they're like world beaters in March. They're a team that always in the Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4, and maybe in the national championship game. They're that type of team. Like, they play their best basketball at that particular point in time. Same here with, like, you look at Washington last season, right? Like, when they played, I feel like they played their best ball in December. So it's just like, so hopefully, to your point, that Dan, and he's, again, we could only go on the sample size we saw last year. That's pretty much looks like the formula for him. So we have to go off that. And I'm with you on that. I think he preps his team pretty well in December. So resting Jayden is like, to me, is a December move. Like, resting Jayden now is a December move. You don't need Jayden.
Great analogy. Correct.
You know what I mean?
If you're, correct. And that's I think that's the learning. It's just so refreshing speaking to Dan Quinn every single week, because he gives you a lot to go on, unlike the previous coaches that were through here. He just gives you a lot, and you just hear in his methodical in the way he talks, just like Izzo. Like, you're just charting towards meaningful football in the middle to end of December. That's what you want.
Agreed.
And so, and I agree with Santiago. Yeah, Terry needs a breakout.
Yeah,
all that money he making holding him down.
Yeah, I just feel like they need to, and I feel like they've been trying to baby step him in because of missing camp. But I'm with you. When you're making that money, there's no more baby stepping. It's gotta be all in. Some of these plays gotta be featured to him. Like, they gotta be featured to him, regardless. Once you pay somebody this money, look. There is politics in sports. What I mean by that is, once you give somebody a dollar sign, you can't treat them like another player. You have to try to feature them best you can.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like those plays that you run for somebody else, you got to show that money's worth it. You got to run that play for 17 because the money is there. The money has been invested into that player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, that's where I'm with you, Lou. When you said that earlier, I was like, all right, you got the money now. Like now, as player and coaching staff, or I'll just say offensive coordinator, player and offensive coordinator, player got to be featured, and then player got to produce.
Yeah,
that's just what it is.
Straight facts, baby, facts.
You know what I'm saying? That's what money does. All right, Lou. So, what are your keys for Commanders' victory against the Raiders?
You got to start quick. You got to start quick. You got to take the life out of them. You got to take their soul. Just take it out of them. You know, they're coming across country. They're tired. They played that late. Was it that Monday night? Whatever.
Yeah, Monday night.
Yeah,
and so a short week.
So not as short as the Commanders the week before.
Yeah,
but it is a short week, and you are flying across the country. So take advantage of all mental whatever. Those are the keys, right? And establish the run. I mean, you can now establish a run, not just because of the running back room, but because of this offensive line. The offensive line, I remember asking Wiley and Allegretti and Deatrich and Sam Cosmi was in there. Offensive lines would rather run block than pass block.
Easily, yeah.
So, they got to establish the run. You got to establish the run. Those are the keys for me, to start early and establish the run.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they definitely have to start early. Defense got to ball out, and you got to, especially you got to try your best. I know it's hard, but you're going to have to try your best because to your point, Lou, I don't think they have a bunch of weapons offensively, but they do have a supreme weapon in one. And I feel like, and especially when you're talking about outside individuals, and you got to do your best to contain them. I'm not saying you're going to stop Brock Bowers. I'm not going to even say that. Right. But you got to do your best as your defense. This is one of the only, real talents right now. Right now, I think Genty's going to be a fine football player. But if this is only the only given talent right now that's showcased to the world that he is already a top 3 tight end already, do your best to try to contain him. Period. That's it. Do your best. And if you can do that, defensively, you got to set the tone. But to do that, you got to put constant pressure on Geno and make it hard for him to see that guy, see that weapon, right? And I just feel like this is the opportunity that you can. You have guys that we've seen in week 1. We saw it with Deron Payne, Kinlaw. We saw that with that defensive front. They were putting constant pressure on Russell Wilson. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's Deron Payne. And Deron Payne's a guy that I root for. I like Deron Payne. I personally do like Deron Payne. But I think you got to be like you were in week 1. You can't be like you were in week 2. You got to be like you were in week 1. It's essential. For real. This team needs that Deron Payne for them to be a decent defense, to be honest with you.
They held the Giants to 74 yards rushing in that first game. That's what they need. They need to turn the Las Vegas Raiders into a one-dimensional football team. Whatever that dimension is, they need to take away the other part.
I agree with you. And got to create turnovers. Got to create turnovers. They haven't had a turnover so far this year. Got to create turnovers. If you want to be a good defense, a solid defense, you got to create turnovers. I'm not saying that you got to be like the Baltimore Ravens in 2000 or anything like that. You just got to create turnovers. But yeah, they do that, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. All right, so before we end the show, Lou, you wanted to talk about HU football.
Yeah, I mean, I know this is we're in football season for professional, but man, there's so much good college football or interesting football around here with the HBCUs and the other schools, Maryland, Loxley getting himself together, and then Malik, that quarterback, and but I do want to shout out a special event that's happening tomorrow over at Audi Field. It's the Howard versus Hampton. Big shout out to my boy Lawrence Ham from Events DC. And I do some work for HBCU Go. Carrington and Curtis Simons are bringing that game to the area. I think that there's just a lot of pride.
It
Obviously those type of games, they take a couple of years to marinate and to build and whatever. Tomorrow's a big deal. The Hampton is a good squad, and Howard's coming on. It's just, but just the whole, my wife went to Hampton.
She okay. Oh, that's the whole thing. That definitely
my wife pledged with Allison Seymour over there at Hampton.
Oh, okay.
So they're Delta Sigma Theta.
The real HU, but y'all got the real HU battle.
Yeah. But I mean, if you ask the people at Howard, it's not really it.
I know. Believe me, I know.
Because but I mean, it's fun. It's fun. The usually when you go to those type of games, people are on the yard or people are outside, whatever. In this particular game, there's no real outside in the Audi field. Like you're going to go into the stadium to go into the game. And so it's a great atmosphere. So like I said, my wife went to Hampton, but my son and my mother went to Howard.
Wow.
I was born at Howard. Born at Howard. Back in the 60s when I was born, it's now the communications building, but Freeman's Hospital. I'm a Freeman's Hospital baby.
Okay.
So I was born when my mom was in the last year of pharmacy school. So, but yeah, I just want to see some good football. I want to see the bands. I want to see the pageantry, everything like that. And so Bowie State is getting ready to start their home schedule. It's just a lot. Morgan, Damon Wilson up there at Morgan.
I love Damon.
And then obviously with Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson coaching and bringing in their flavors into the area when they come into the area to play. Their teams coming into the area. I don't want to leave out the college stuff too, man. So. Yeah. We have a lot of good college storylines.
Yeah,
maybe not as good as football as other areas, but the storylines are always really, really juicy and really, really cool. And I want to really, really take a moment to celebrate. And again, my boy Lawrence Ham over at Events DC, watch out for him. He's bringing a lot of good events here to the Washington DC area. I know our president took credit for it, but Lawrence Ham was responsible for getting that draft on the mall. So in that stadium, they're doing some great stuff with this new stadium, and that's a big story this week that stadium passed. So it's going to that area. It's going to that area. So all the talk about where this thing's going to be, it's going to be in that area. So Washington D.C. is going to be the place to be in a minute, but the Audi Field. I remember when that stadium, the Nat Stadium was built, and there was nothing around it.
Yeah, I know. It's wild.
And that thing is built up to be such an area now that it's fun to be down there. It's fun to be down there. So I did want to ask you if I could do that at the end of our talk, and I just wanted to just shout out my guy Lawrence Ham and obviously Carrington and Curtis Simons. What they've done with HBCU Go to give a platform for these things. So do you know Bill, Jacory Croskey-Merritt?
Alabama.
He started at Alabama State. Everybody talks about New Mexico and Arizona. He started at Alabama State. And on my YouTube channel, I asked him about that, and he is he has some very, very heartfelt words about how. Because he was a 0-star recruit coming out of high school. Nobody recruited him. Nobody recruited him. And like most HBCUs, they gave him a warm hug before throwing him out into a cruel world. And so they embraced him. He got his start there. And now this player is not only the talk of our team, he's the talk of the NFL. The 7th rounder that is just putting in work. And he got his start at an HBCU, and so I don't take it for granted when these players have now a network and have a platform where they can be seen. and not just the SWAC, but the MEAC, the CIAA, the SAIC, all those conferences. 4 conferences are now getting some run, and that's a big deal. That's a big deal because for a long time, you didn't know where these kids came from. Right now, they're on TV now. You can find them. You can find them on TV.
Yeah.
So now we just have to get all those other sports visible too, because there's good volleyball, there's good softball, there's good stuff going on in our HBCUs that just need to be highlighted. But tomorrow is the Howard Hampton, and that's a big deal.
No, it's definitely a big deal. And I would say this, there are a bunch of great stories, not just as good as the NFL stories within HBCU football. I just like you're talking about what Deshaun is doing in Dale State. Dale State had a horrendous football program. Deshaun has actually improved it already.
Yeah,
I think they're right. He's already improved it. With Michael Vick just being in Norfolk State, and I feel it's going to take him a couple of years because that's not an easy program to build up because their football team hasn't been good for years. So it's going to take time for Mike Vick. But I just think there's a lot of great stories. You got Howard building their football program because I love Coach Scott out there in Howard. I think he's doing a great job over there.
Yeah.
You got obviously you got South Carolina State, who's already has a strong football program. They went to the Celebration Bowl last season. You got Central, who's a strong football team, football program. So I just feel like, and the SWAC, Jackson State's playing great football. Jackson State's in the FCS. They're ranked 16, I believe. So to your point, I just think there are great stories within HBCU football. And then to your point also, and there's going to be there are other sports that, hopefully are built up. Their basketball obviously has been built up. That's also because basketball teams are able to go to the NCAA tournament because we're in the conference tournament. So you get to see them in that in that environment, in that scene as well. So we cover HBCU stuff over here. So you already know, I have a big appreciation for it. I'm an HBCU grad, so obviously I love it. And I'm just so interested in your household, Lou. You got family that's beefing then. Howard Hampton.
Yeah, it's good beef. At the end of the day, Hampton was an institute before it became a university.
True.
Howard was always a university. So the real HU, you take it for yourself. But again, it's just the fun about it.
I know it's so fun.
I'm just going to say it's the celebration of Black excellence.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
It's the celebration, I'm woke. Okay. Shoot. Look, you can't cancel me. I'm a guest on your show.
Who gonna cancel you?
Who
gonna cancel you?
No. But it's a celebration of Black excellence, and I love it. I love it. I win. Look, I win either way.
There you go. Everybody.
I win either way. I think we all win either way.
All win either way.
I think we all win either way.
Agreed. I agree with that whole statement. Well, Lou, I appreciate you being on. Before I let you go, man, I just want you to plug all of your platforms, plug your YouTube channel, everything, Lou.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is where it's at, baby. The Holder Hangout on my YouTube channel is where it's at. I got a lot of good stuff in there, football related, sports related, and culture related. I did an interview with Governor Moore.
I saw that
up there.
I saw that
with some students from Bishop McNamara High School. I'm more than just a sportscaster, man. I just like interviewing people and stories. Obviously, I spend a lot of my time covering the Commanders, but I'm so much more than that. So check out the YouTube. It's got some really, really good stuff on there. Interview. Didn't know it was going to be the last interview I did with him, but Austin Ekeler had some good thoughts about the season and things of that nature. But I'm looking forward to adding on to it with when I go out to this Howard Hampton game and getting some sound bites and just the flavor and whatnot. I love this YouTube channel that I have and how it's given me the opportunity to do sports my way.
Yes, your way.
I don't have no producer.
Yeah,
I'm the producer.
Yeah, I love
I don't have no commercials. I am the product.
Yes.
And whatever I post, I post. So I like doing sports my way. I don't have a minute 30. I don't have a minute. I have as much time as I want.
There you go.
And so I use it. it. So that's my main thing on the X platform. It's Holder Sports. On Instagram, it's Lou Holder TV. And I keep popping stuff in there. I don't oversaturate it because the market clearly is oversaturated. But when I post, I want to make it meaningful. So, and one more thing, I do want to shout out the Washington Commanders for recognizing a longtime colleague of ours, Rick Snyder, who passed away. And Wole, I would tell you, I mean, you've mentioned how you used to watch me, and you always take these moments and opportunities to thank me. And but it's I will say this, if I can have the platform.
Yeah, please.
It's not the microphones that we hold, and it's not the people that we work for, but it's the people that we meet along the way that make a great career and a great journey. And sports doesn't see color, at least it shouldn't. Sports doesn't see color, it doesn't see gender, it just sees good sports. And when I got to this market, Rick Snyder was one of the people who embraced me. We've talked on many occasions. When you're on the beat of a team, you spend more time with the people on the beat than you do your own family. And you become friends. You go out to dinner with these people, you learn about these people, and then they learn about you. And then next thing you know, it's like, yeah, I like the work that you do. And, even up until the OTAs and the off season, I was talking to Rick about certain things, and to know that he's gone. And that's the second one we've lost. Third one we've lost. We lost Pete Medhurst.
Pete Medhurst,
he passed away. John Feinstein, he passed away. A couple years ago. Rich Tandler passed away from Comcast Sportsnet. So again, life is very fleeting. But the Commanders did a very, very classy job. They brought his family up there. They had his seat there with flowers and his laminated season credential there. Very classy move by the Washington Commanders public relations staff to do that. So, looking forward to get back in the building. And again, you can't let a bad hole turn into a bad round. And so this is the next hole up. This is hole number 3. Hole number 3. You step into the tee box. What you going to do, Dan Quinn? What you going to do, Cliff Kingsbury? What you going to do, Joe Witt? What are you going to do? What you going to do? What you going to do? So
yeah, I totally agree with you. That it's definitely, and I thank you for saying those kind words about Snyder on this platform. I appreciate that. I think he deserves it. He's one of the legends in the game. He's definitely one of the legends in the game. Growing up, seeing this stuff. Always talk about like seeing your stuff. Even like a guy like who passed away years ago. Like I always think about like George Michael. This is a guy that I like grew up really watching and like adoring growing up. And him passing. So
he covered that team for 40 years.
That's crazy.
I'm in my 24th year.
24th
year. He covered it for almost twice the amount of time. And so the staying power that you had with one franchise in one city. Obviously he had to reinvent himself numerous times due to age and due to just whatever. But to cover anything of any entity for 40 years is a big deal.
Definitely.
That means you had the trust from the organization for 4 decades. That's
amazing. That is amazing.
So good run, Rick Snyder. Good run, my fella. Yeah. Rest easy.
Rest in paradise. Definitely. Rest in paradise. And, folks, thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate it. Always appreciate Lou. And you know what? Not just Lou. Emmy Award-winning Lou. That's why I got to start saying to myself. Always appreciate Lou. Even though Lou's
Emmy Award-winning Lou with a shirt on.
Yeah, look. Yeah, with a shirt on. Look, I got a shirt on too. It's just different. It's just a different shirt. That's all. It's just a different shirt. It's a different shirt.
Tragic.
Anyway, folks, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene for ages. You dig? Deuces. We are out. Peace.